Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about going for walks and more specifically loose leash walking. So I've sat in this office and talked to hundreds if not thousands of clients about loose leash walking and how to do that process. Our method, the Beckman's way, is not about treat all the time. It's also not about giving a lot of harsh corrections. We kind of have a middle of the road solution. So first let's talk about why loose leash walking is important or why going on walks is important. So the main thing is going on walks is mentally and physically stimulating for your dog. I always tell my clients, it is the single best exercise you can get your dog. It's not the most amount of exercise, but it's the best exercise. Why is that? They're walking around, they're hearing planes, they're seeing trash trucks, they're seeing gardeners, they're traveling with you like a pack. It's just a really, really healthy thing to do with your dog. So you have to do it. Also, for those of you who are watching from San Diego, we live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. You can walk all year round. Okay, so get out and get walking with your dog. I sometimes say that I don't think you can have a truly well-balanced dog without walking them. So, how much though? Then all my clients ask, well, how much exercise is a perfect amount? I'm not going to tell you to be constantly walking your dog 5 miles a day, 7 days a week. That's just not realistic. A lot of people, all of us have busy lives. We can't just constantly be exercising our dogs. So here's what I say. 5 to 7 times a week, walking a mile to 2 miles. Okay? Almost every day, walking 45 minutes or a mile or so should be enough. I then throw in 2 times a week of doing what I call opening up. So your dog should be running or wrestling, but that's a whole nother talk. This is loose leash walking. All right, so now you know why you should walk your dog. Let's get into the best way to walk your dog. This is one of the main things people call me for. The main things people call any trainer for is loose leash walking. If you think about it, it's a pretty unnatural thing for a dog to do. Okay, we're gonna go out in this big crazy world and I need you, dog, to stand or to walk right next to me, and I don't want you to bark at other dogs, even though you're on a leash and you maybe feel frustrated for being on this leash. You can't bark at anything, and I need you to be good. It's fairly unnatural, especially they want to run, they want to get in front of you. So understand the difficulty that it can be. That's why there's prong collars, and that's why people have treats, and they're just constantly treating their dogs all the time. None of which, either of those 2 methods, nobody wants to do, by the way, and we don't do. So it's a pretty tough thing to train, but we think we have a really, really good system, a multi-part system on how to deal with this. Loose leash walking is somewhat about an attitude, okay? The attitude of that you are kind of leading the walk. It doesn't mean you always need to be in front. I let my dog be out in front of me a little bit. He just can't be pulling. But it is an attitude thing. It is that you are leading this walk. We also don't train a heel. The criteria is the dog can't be pulling and the dog has to be checking in with us. Okay, that's kind of criteria. Also, if you want to kind of Google this or look into this, we are very big into what's called the pre-MAC principle. I think they call it the grandmother's rule. Eat your peas before you get your dessert. That's the principle at play. So in a few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in your home. We're going to create, my office is going to be like your home and how you're going to get out of that door. But basically, the thinking is they don't get to that big exciting walk until they have done the correct behavior way before that. And where does that start? Right when the leash comes out. The leash doesn't get put on until they're calm. We don't take one step towards that door from inside their house until they're calm. And we definitely don't go outside that door until they're calm. And then you get on that walk, and they're already on your page. If you let them get crazy, pull out the door, and do their thing, then we wonder why they barked at dogs. You go into a pet store, and you let them pull you in the door, and then why did they bark at that dog? It's because you never sort of got control. But we'll go into that in a little while. So, that is kind of the introduction for loose leash walking. Now we're going to get into using some dogs and showing you exactly what to do. Okay, so you can't go on a walk without the right equipment. So we're going to talk a little bit about equipment right now. So first thing is my treat pouch. Looks like this. Now, we don't use a lot of treats on walks. I just don't believe in it because I want the reinforcement to be to continue on the walk, and I want to get rid of treats for certain behaviors as much as possible. But you do need treats. Treats are good, especially for leash reactivity. We do use treats. So this is the treat pouch. The treats we use generally we use a lot of different treats. Basically, whatever the dog loves, that's what we want to use. Hot dogs are good. I do like soft treats, especially if it's warm outside and you have a crunchy treat. Try to give it to a dog, it can get caught in their throat. So soft treats are always a really good idea. But really anything that the dog likes or loves is the best. I get people in class all the time, and they get to class and then they try to give their dogs treats and they go, but he loves it at home. Honestly, whether they love it at home, it doesn't matter. Take them to a pet store or go on a walk. If they're not eating at the pet store, they're not eating out and about, it's not good enough. Okay, so you need something they really, really love. And if you have like leash reactivity issues or even major loose leash walking issues, you might want to reduce their breakfast a little bit so that they're into the treats for your walk. All right, so that's treats and treat pouches. You need a leash. Obviously, I prefer, this is I think a 4-foot or a 5-foot leash. 4, 5, or 6 are fine. The zip leashes, the long leashes aren't great. These are perfect. You can hold on to them well. It's just a normal leash. Okay? How you're going to hold it. We'll show you how in a little while. This is an Easy Walk harness. This is a great device. Goes over the head, connects in the front of the dog, and when the dog pulls, it kind of pulls their shoulders in a little bit. It doesn't hurt them at all, and they don't seem to really fight it at all. We will use this dog often with pullers, and then with real crazy pullers, another product is called a gentle leader. Same company makes them. We'll go into this in a minute. So Easy Walk harness. It has 2 points that come off, 2 buckles, clips. One is right here. People get really confused. They look at this thing. They're like, I have no idea what to do with this. Here's what I tell them. Never unhook the top one. Basically, the only one that you unhook is the odd colored piece. The black piece. It's odd. That's the only one you unhook. It's also odd, so you don't want to see it. So it's the one that goes underneath. I can't tell you how many times people come to class and it's on backwards, or this is on the back of the dog, which makes it a normal harness, which normal harnesses are terrible for pulling. What do sled dogs wear? They just wear a harness. Makes it almost too comfortable to pull. So we don't want just a normal harness. Easy Walk harness. So it goes like this. You take this off, put it on over like a collar, and then just clip it underneath. I'm going to show you with Bosco. Bosco, this is my dog here. Come on. Come on. Oh boy. He's got a hurt knee. All right, so back over the head, up under the body. Make sure you don't pinch their skin, and clip. Just like that. The leash connects in the front. And when they pull, he's not going to pull, but when they pull, it just kind of pulls their body a little bit differently. See that? You can maneuver them without any pain at all. It's a good product. Short-legged dogs, they can get out of these. If dogs are only legs are about that short, then they can just get their knees up through here and take these off. But most dogs cannot get out of this. This is a really good product. And then take it off, pop it like that. Up over the head, and you're done. Good boy, Bosco. We're now going to talk about Easy Walk harnesses. Excuse me. Gentle leaders. Gentle leader. This isn't a large. This is a big gentle leader. A dog like Bosco, 80-pound Doberman, he only needs a medium. So most dogs don't need a large. This is for like a Mastiff. It comes in the package like this, and people get confused. They don't know what to do. So you got to bring this middle piece up through the middle, on over the nose, back around the head. Why does this product work? Think about what a horse wears. So an animal is big and strong as a horse. They wear a halter. And when they pull or you try to kind of move them, their head turns. You need to control the head. All your dog wants to do is cruise around and look at other dogs and bark at dogs and pull to people. And they want to just be able to look everywhere they want to go. That's why it's so hard to get their attention or to keep them from pulling. What does this do? When they pull, their whole head turns. And they go, I don't like that, so I'm not going to pull. It's an awesome, awesome product. People use shock collars and prong collars. This is way better than those products. how do you put this on? So as I told you, come up through the middle. I'm going to show you with Bosco. Okay, Bosco, you can stay there. On the nose. This one's even super loose. Up around the head. All right, just like that. This one's even way too loose. You got to tighten this up right here. Tighten it up. And stay. Connects right here. People think it's a muzzle. It's obviously not a muzzle. Dog can totally open its mouth, totally drink. And okay, come on, let's go. One more. And when they pull, their whole head turns. Look at him. He just backs up. He's a good walker. He doesn't need this. They will fight it. Dogs will sometimes fight this. So they'll try to get their paws in. I'll try to get this thing off. You can't let them get it off. What I do is right when I put on, let's say I put on a dog, he's being this good, and it's the first time he got on. You know what I do? I go, and I retreat. And then I would take one step, and I retreat. And then he goes, I'm going to fight this thing. I would then pull his head up. I'm not going to do it to Bosco. I pull his head up so he can't get down and do this. I pull his head up. Then right when he gives up the fight, I would bridge with a yes, and then I give him a treat. And then I kind of let him pull a little bit so he has a feeling of him pulling, and then, he dealt with it well, I'd give him a treat. And I just start to go into like a circular walk or calming ovals, whatever you want to call it, and I would just treat. I reinforce everything except the fighting of the gentle leader. Okay, now you take it off, back of the head, off, and off the nose. That is a gentle leader. Awesome product, especially if you have a big dog or a crazy pulling dog. I tell people sometimes, you can pay me thousands of dollars to train your dog, or you can buy this. Good product. So now we're going to get into some actual loose leash walking, what to do before you go on a walk. All right. Everyone thinks loose leash walking is about, what do I do when I'm out on the walk and my dog starts to pull? That is down the road. What you need to worry about is how to get your dog out of the house properly. You got to set the tone for the walk early on, or it's going to get bad later on. All right, so we've got Lucky here. He's one of our board and trains. We're going to act like this is your house. So this is your house, that is your door, and we're going to go for a walk. So the first thing you do, your dog's cruising around, you're going to get the leash out. The dog has to be calm before the leash is put on. Why is that? Because the leash being put on is reinforcing. What do we know about reinforcement? Anything that happens, behavior that happens before the reinforcement is going to increase. So if your dog is crazy and you put the leash on, you're increasing their craziness. If the dog is pulling you towards the door and you allow that, then you're just going to get more pulling. You have to get them calm every step of the way. Leash going on, taking a single step towards the door. They have to be good. Going out the door. Okay, this whole process needs to start really before the walk, although it is technically the walk. You're going to get the leash out, and you got your dog here. If your dog is going crazy, which Lucky, of course, is not. He's very calm. But if your dog is going crazy, there's a few things you can do. You can just ignore it. You can just stand there. Be boring. Dog's jumping. Dog's getting excited. Why are they doing that? Because you have reinforced that by putting this on. So we're just going to be calm. Dog's jumping. Dog finally sits. Okay, let's say it's like this. Oh, he decided to stop. We're then going to put the leash on. All right, now I know what my clients do. I've had thousands of clients. I've been in thousands of homes. Right when they put the leash on, they go, okay, we're going. You know what I do? I go, we're not going anywhere. I stand right here. Lucky's being a good boy. But, and then let's say your dog actually does that. What are we going to do? Well, then we're going to go towards the door, or at least take one step towards the door. I don't know if we're going to make it to that door. If he pulls me to that door, we're not making it. Oh, so he's being a good boy. Your dog is finally a good boy after being all excited. And by the way, this isn't from your dog being bad or your dog being dominant. If your dog does this process, it's because you have conditioned it. You have inadvertently conditioned it with this walk process. So now we need to uncondition it or counter-condition it. All right. So your dog's being good. Let's say like Lucky. I am then going to say, okay, and I'm going to take a step towards the door. He's going to be good, but let's say your dog goes, yep, we're going. Flies to the leash. I'm going to stop. Or I'm going to turn around and I'm going to walk back into my house, maybe to the boring kitchen. that is the punishment for flying towards that door. We go deeper into the house, which is technically farther away from the walk. All right. Lucky. Okay, come on. I like to pick a side that your dog's on. Now he's being fantastic. He's being good, being good, being good. Then we get to the door. Sit. That's a perfect sit. I'm going to then throw in a stay. You can say wait. You can say stay. Open that door. If the dog goes, you're going to say and you're going to put them back in the stay. He's being great. I'm going to reinforce him. Why am I not using a lot of treats, by the way? The reinforcement is to end up on that walk. Each step of the way is actually reinforcing, with the final reinforcement being the walk. All right, so he's being good. If that's all I do. Put him back in the sit. We just got up. Now here's where a lot of you guys and a lot of my clients have a hard time. Open the door. The dog's being good. Oh my gosh, she's being so good. And then you guys say, okay. The dog flies out that door. Here's what I do. Oh my gosh, she's being so good. Here's what I do. I say, okay. I know the dog is going to fly out the door, and so I'm already turning around and I'm ready to repeat the process. I'm already turning around. Did I give the dog a correction? I did not. The dog essentially gave himself a correction by flying out of the door. I just didn't follow him out that door. So I'm going to say, okay, dog flies. I'm going to go bink, and I'm going to already be walking this way, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to repeat the whole sit, stay process again. I can usually do this with dogs, and it takes them one time to go, oh, and then they start to go. And they look out the door, and they look at me as they're slowly going out the door. Now, have I set the tone for the walk by doing this? Absolutely, I have. Once they get into that big, crazy world out there, they're on a different, their mindset's different. They're listening. It's a totally different dog. This is as important as anything about loose leash walking. It's more important than what do I do when I get out there and they pull. Do I treat? When do I treat? When do I turn? When do I stop? This is probably 5 times as important as that. So now we're going to put this all together, this whole process. We're going to use a different dog. This is King. He might be a little more crazy. He is going to be a little more crazy. He's definitely a puller. He's also a very big dog. So let's put this whole process together with a dog who I have done just a little bit of training with. So hopefully he's going to be a bit more of a challenge than Lucky was. All right, so the dog's cruising around the house. Time to get the dog. Time to go on a walk. So you're going to call your dog King. Good boy. Now, right when the dog gets to me, I'm going to kind of hold his collar. I'm going to actually reinforce him because we are working on recalls. He came to me. He let me grab his collar. So now, King, he needs to sit before the leash goes on. Why is that? We want nothing for free. It's reinforcing to put this leash on. It's because this is associated with walks. So how about if he does a sit, then the reinforcement is the leash. We don't have to use treats. King, sit. Yes, stay. We're going to throw the stay. Leash going on. That is the reinforcement. No treat for this, because this is reinforcing. I do not let the dog get up. Oh, and he's even looking at me. Is that the time to release him? I think so. King. Okay. What a good boy. He's being a good boy. Now, I conditioned the dog to walk on my left. So he kind of already went over there, and I said, no, can't go that way. And, okay. I'm going to get to the door. He's being good. He's actually being great. Double pull on the collar. King. Sit. Good boy. Stay. I worked on this, so we'll see how well he does. I'm going to repeat the stay. Stay. He's good. He's being very good. Look at that. Big open world out there. Dog's being awesome. And remember, we don't want him to fly out this door. King. Okay. And a good calm walk out the door. Remember, if your dog does fly out that door, you're already flipping around back there, taking him back and repeating that whole process. Now here's another thing I like to do. Once I get outside of the house, especially with puppies, new rescues, highly stimulated dogs. A dog like King, he's kind of just chilling. He's used to this area already. But highly stimulated dogs, get out of your house, don't go anywhere. Stand there. Let him hear the planes. Let him smell the air like he's doing, where he's smelling something. I call it dog orientation. Let them just get oriented to their surroundings. And then I kind of go, King, Okay, and now he's kind of looking at me. He's ready to go on a walk. Okay. Another step in the loose leash walking process is something called calming ovals. This is not something I made up. We have our own way of doing things, but we didn't make this up. We might have changed it a little bit, but we didn't make it up. It's called calming ovals. I'm a huge fan of calming ovals. All it is walking in a big circle or a big oval, preferably in your backyard. If you have a big house, you can do it in your house. If you're in an apartment, you can do it in the front driveway area, basically an unstimulating area. And what this does, these calming ovals, is it gets them primed for the walk. It gets a little bit of exercise out, a little bit of energy out. It sort of sets the tone for the walk. You're doing it in a boring spot. If you think about walks, these dogs are sort of thrust into this big, crazy world out there. And it's too much for a lot of them. They need to sort of get used to their surroundings and be on a leash and get desensitized to the leash and get desensitized to all the stuff around. Now, your backyard, there's not a lot of stuff around, but they just need to do boring circles before they go on exciting walks. We've seen tremendous amount of success with this. All right, so you already did your going out the back door or the front door process, but let's just say it's the back door. You now have your dog in the backyard. And he's like, I'm on a leash. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to go for a walk. And you're like, well, we're just going on a boring old walk in the backyard. And that's exactly what you want him to think. The calming oval has to be a consistent oval or circle. And it's got to be somewhat slow. It's not a fast process. Now, he's a big dog. He's already in front of me. I'm not going to do any corrections. I'm not going to do any treats. That's not the purpose of this. We are just going to walk. And I'm going to walk this way, actually. I like to have the dog on the outside. He's saying, and all I'm going to do is put the leash to my side, give it kind of a short leash, and we're just going to walk. And he's going to say, well, I want to smell that thing. And I'm going to say, doesn't matter. That's not what we're doing. He goes, I want to go over here. And I go, doesn't matter. That's not where we're going. I usually don't stop. Then we're going to just keep walking. And he says, if they try to go behind you, I just bring them back. If they go, I want to smell that thing, I go, well, that's not what we're doing. If they go, I want to drink some water, I go, that's not what we're doing. Now, it's just a slow, consistent walk. It's boring. It's meant to be boring. It's meant to be boring for you. It's meant to be boring for them. Here's what you don't want to do. The dog sort of pulls you over here and you accidentally follow them. You set the tone for the walk. Even for the circle. You're just walking in a big circle. I like to hold the leash right about here. It's not a long leash. Too much room. Never a leash like this. This is terrible. In fact, right when I pulled up on his leash and made it tight, he started to go. That's sort of pre-existed learning of being on a tight leash. Even when he's pulling, I don't really stop. I just stop for a second. Big, boring ovals. That is the point of this. My clients have gotten so much out of this. Doing about 3 to 5 minutes of calming ovals before they go on a walk has made such a huge difference in their life. And guess what? It's easy. It's easy. It doesn't take any training, treating, correcting. It takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes of your time to have 30 to 50% better results on a walk, I would say, for the most part. Easy stuff. All right, so those are calming ovals. That is the next step. And then, oh, he's stopping. Guess what I do when he stops? I walk. Do I do this? Do I let him stop and then, oh, come on, walk with me? No, that's not how this works. We go. We're going. I'm leading this walk. The train doesn't stop. That's what I say. Dog stops, I go, we're going, man. That's the deal. And then we go right out the side door of the house. There's the gate, and then we just go bink, go right out the door on the walk. And this dog is already on my page. All right, good job, King. Now we're getting into what actually you do when the dog pulls or they don't pull on a real walk. We've got Puas. Out of all the dogs that we have here right now, Puas is maybe the most puller, I would say, the biggest puller, but he's still pretty good. So we're going to go through the whole process with you. So, just like you're at your home, call the dog over, get the leash out. Puas, come. I like to do a sit. Why? Because it sets the tone for the walk. He's got to do some work in order to get on that walk. These walks aren't for free. Stay. Leash leash goes on. Just because I snap the leash on, is that his cue to get up? No. His cue to get up is when I say, okay. That's his cue, not putting the leash on. So he got up, I said, I put him right back in a sit. Did I put him, after he got up, did I put him in a sit over here, where he was closer to the door? I put him in a sit exactly where I originally asked him to come from. All right, we're going to do a wait at the door, then we're going to get into what to do when the dog pulls. Stay. So he's at the door. Open. Now, he got up when the door opened. So he instantly goes back into a sit. Your dog, if you guys let your dog get up and then sit back down 6 inches closer to the door, you'll never get this. They'll just 6-inch their way right out that door. They'll just keep doing this. They'll just keep moving the door because they get reinforced. Stay. He's got to go back where he was. Stay. Let's see if we can do it now. Now he's staying. Now, Puas is a dog who might go a little too much out the door, in which case, as you already hopefully heard, I'm going to flip around. Okay. Good. Really calm. Come out the door. That was really good. A little in front of me, but looking at me at least. I don't mind too far in front, but I also don't want them on what I call their own walk, which is they just don't know where they am, and they're just going where they want to go. So imagine this is outside your house. Again, stand here for a minute. Let the dog go, okay, outside my house. Oh, I hear Charlie down the street barking. Let him sort of get oriented before you go on that walk. Now we're going to show you what to do when you actually walk. So there's multiple methods. There is constant treat method, treat, being good, treat. There is the stopping method, okay? Walk. As soon as they pull, we stop, be a tree. In that case, what is the punishment for pulling? It is they don't get to go on the walk. We take the walk away from them. I like that method. But it can be tough for some people. And some dogs that are just wild. People hate to just stop and then take one step and stop. They don't like it. So there's also the turning method. We're going to walk. As soon as he pulls, I'm going to flip the other way. Okay? I have found this is tough for clients to do all three of these methods at the same time. So they're trying to treat, they're trying to pull, they're trying to stop. So that's why I said calming ovals are such a good thing, because then you're not walking out of the house and your dog's out of his mind. So let's act like we're on our house. I am then gonna say okay to Puas, and if he pulls, I like the turning method personally. Turn the other way, because I like to keep the dog moving. And what you'll do is you walk out of the house, you'll turn, you go the other way, you'll turn, and basically you will eventually get farther on the walk. Does that make sense? He's going to be a good boy, but let's see if we can't get him to pull. Okay, so he's walking. Oh, he's catching a fly. Come on, Puas. Come on, what you do. It's fly catching. Okay, so he's not pulling. He's being a good boy, so I can reinforce him. Puas. I'm just going to reinforce him. I like to actually do proactive turns. So yeah, I said if he pulls, turn. I like to do turns even when they're being good. Look at, and then I can give him a treat. It's an opportunity for reinforcement. I know Puas is on my page at this point. Look at, I know he's on my page. So you should be proactively turning. I even like to turn into him sometimes. It's just another way to make sure that they're on our page. But let's say he was pulling. I'll try to get him to pull. He's not going to do it. He was pulling. I would just kind of give a little correction. The correction is not meant to hurt them. The correction is meant to say, right there, that's what you did wrong. And the punishment is we no longer go on the walk that way. We go on the walk the other way, which is the boring part of the walk you've already been on. All they want to do is see new stuff and go bark at Charlie down the street. And if you take that away from them, that is the punishment. And it is effective punishment. More effective than a correction. Look at this dog's neck. His neck is all muscle. Do you think me correcting him is punishing? He doesn't care. Taking away the walk, that's punishing. We feel like that's a very effective, natural sort of punishment. Come on. Punishment has gotten a bad rap, by the way. Right there. You see that? He was like, I'm going to go over there. And I was just like, you got to keep an eye on me. Good boy. Then you can get into sit. Good boy. Okay. So that's the turning method. That's After you've done all that stuff, you then get on the walk, and every time the dog isn't paying attention to you, or is pulling, or even what I call on their own walk. On their own walk means this: walking, and you kind of stop, and you see them just kind of, they're going. They're in front of you. Look, they're in front of you. He's sitting. He's being a good boy. He knows where I am. This is what we want. And they're just kind of on their own walk. I then go bink, and I turn the other way. Single most effective method for loose leash walking.